Let's do it.
Let's do it. Do the Little Nicky voice. Hey, it's me, Little
Okay,
Nicky.
Dad.
Let's start the chosen one, Wally.
Cassius is killing Dad.
I'm gonna talk the whole show like this.
Oh, dear God.
I'm not gonna
Oh,
stop.
Adam Sandler.
At least this movie has good cameos. You have to
He's
keep like
got
your
a lot of cameos.
You have to keep your teeth clenched and talk through your teeth. That's how you do the Little Nicky voice.
And just out through like one side
Yeah.
of your mouth.
Okay, Dad.
Wait, Rob Schneider was in this?
Oh,
Oh,
fuck
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
he
Of
was.
course he
He was in
was.
the okay.
He
I couldn't
did. He
remember
literally
when.
did. You can do it.
Oh, yes.
You can do it. He did it.
Uh,
Of course, he was in
all
it.
right.
Rob Schneider. Rob
Okay.
Schneider is.
Rob Schneider is a stapler. Anyways, let's get to Little Nicky.
Let's.
It was a movie from 2000 starring Adam Sandler as Little Nicky. And it starts with a mother who's walking her son into their house. And then the camera pans up and we see a guy sitting in a tree.
Not
who
just
happens,
a guy.
John Lovitz.
John Lovitz, who. John Lovitz, the creep, is weird, right?
Yep.
He's a weirdo in
peeping.
movies, but a creep.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Yep. So he's peeping through the window. He's got
Lovitz.
some cheese and wine with him.
Yeah, eating a full dinner in a tree.
It's date night.
Making a date of it.
Oh my God.
You see the woman start to undress and lotion herself, and then John Lovitz is getting all turned on, and the son comes into the bedroom, so she stops and puts a robe on. So John picks up his phone, and then we hear the phone ring.
How does he know the number? I guess he's a good creep.
Yeah.
Well, he knows their names.
He's been spying on them for a while, I'm guessing.
Mrs. Dunleavy and Scotty Dunleavy. So Scotty answers the phone, and he can't figure out, who's calling. What do you want? Because Peeper John Lovitz is like, get out of the room, let mommy have some alone time. And he starts laughing very loudly.
Oh boy.
So they notice him in the tree. So the lady opens the window, and Scotty Dunleavy shoots him in the head with a slingshot, making him fall to the ground. And then John Lovitz
he kills this guy.
Falling. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
That kid also is going to be in hell someday because now he's a murderer.
Right.
He pretended to. John Lovitz also pretended to be a big bird. Like, oh, nothing. It's just a bird out there.
It's just me, a bird.
Oh my God. So he makes his way to hell. The gatekeeper welcomes him and tells him that he's going to meet a very big horny bird because he was pretending to be a big horny bird.
Yes, that's his punishment in hell.
Yep. We see Little Nicky playing the guitar in his room when Jimmy, who is a demon, comes in, and Jimmy is played by where the fuck is he? Blake
Jimmy
Clark, the guy from
He's
Boy
in
Meets
all
World.
Sandler's movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's also Sean's dad, right?
Sean's dad.
Sean's dad. Right. I should
not
know
all the movies, but a bunch of Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
He's come up quite a bit in my life over the last 6 months.
Yep.
Sean's dad.
So Jimmy comes in and he tells Nicky that his dad wants to see him in the throne room with his brothers, and he's going to talk about who's going to rule hell for the next 10,000 years. They tell the story of how Cassius hit Nicky in the face with a shovel, which is why he talks and he looks funny. We meet Cassius and Adrian. Cassius is Tiny Lister, and Adrian is played by
Beast or something.
Reese. Iffens?
He's in Amazing Spider-Man. He's the crocodile dude.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Connors, I think, is his name.
Yeah.
He plays him in
Hmm.
Amazing Spider-Man. And he has a bunch of other like random stuff that he's been in.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of stuff.
So Cassius and Adrian are playing darts, and in the center of the dartboard is some guy, his face. They're
An
talking
actual
about they're talking about who's going to be the new ruler of hell. Nicky walks in and Cassius mind wrestles him and starts forcing him to punch himself in the dick.
I chortled at that.
Yes. So the devil, their dad, comes in and he makes Cassius punch himself in the face.
Devil seems like a
Jimmy-
pretty decent guy.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
be honest.
The devil seems like a very, very nice guy.
Yeah.
Jimmy
Harvey
reminds.
Keitel is the devil. By
Oh
the
yes,
way.
Harvey Keitel. Yes.
Awesome.
I
I mean, this movie is stupid, but if you're gonna bring Harvey Keitel in as the devil, good on you.
Yeah, yeah. Jimmy reminds the devil that he has an appointment to shove a pineapple up Hitler's ass in like 10 minutes. So then the devil tells his sons that he's going to continue to reign for the next 10,000 years because none of them are ready to take the throne. Cassius and Adrian are very upset by this, but Nicky seems to be happy.
He doesn't want to be the king of hell or whatever.
Nope, doesn't want to be king, and he knows that it's a bad thing if his brothers are king. So
Right.
They leave, and here comes Hitler dressed as a French maid.
Nice. Good.
And
Anytime
they
you can
shove-
clown on Hitler, it's good.
Yeah, they shove a pineapple up his ass.
Yep.
The spiky end first, too.
Oh, ouch.
Yes.
Yeah, you
very
see him thinking about it before
Yeah.
he does it.
Adrian and Cassius discuss how they're pissed about serving in hell. We see. I like this one. Dan Marino.
Oh yeah, this was fun.
Trying
cameo.
to sell his soul for a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah,
He won't
yeah.
let him. Yeah.
And he
Which
won't
is-
let him.
This is
Another good thing by the devil.
Right. This is when Marino retired already. He retired in '99. This movie came out in 2000.
Yeah.
Maybe it was in the middle of his last season. Which, by
Probably.
the way, do you remember how Marino went out? It's hilarious to me. How did Marino? What was his final game? Do you remember anything about it?
No.
I'm trying to think. He was in the Super Bowl when somebody stole the dolphin. I remember that. He came back at halftime, right?
No, I mean his actual career.
I do not remember.
No,
He
go ahead, Ryan.
lost in the playoffs in I think it was '99 to the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were a pretty good team. You know what the score was?
Bad.
Want to take a guess?
42-7.
62-7.
Ooh,
Marino
wow.
lost his final
boy.
playoff game 62-7.
I mean, he didn't play defense, but 7's not too good.
62. That's how he went out. I'll never
So
forget it.
He obviously did not sell his soul to the devil.
No, it
Clearly.
didn't. The devil.
Clearly.
Maybe he should have. Maybe he should have accepted it. Damn.
Yeah. I do like how he walked out pissed and he said, "Fine, I'll go as an announcer and win an Emmy."
So yeah, he must have already retired, and that was part of the joke.
Um,
He's not a good announcer either. Like I don't know if he ever won an Emmy or not, but he's not good. He's not a good announcer.
Cassius and Adrian start to talk and they form a plan to take over Earth. They start walking to the firewall, which leads to Earth, and they walk through it, and it freezes over. The gatekeeper knows this is very, very bad, so he runs and tells the devil what happened, and the devil punishes him by growing boobs on his head.
This is Kevin Nealon. Gets
Is it really?
boobs grown on his
it's not
head.
Kevin Nealon that gets the boobs.
I thought it was Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon's in it. The boobs are one of the show's newer favorites.
Wait, what?
No,
Kevin
Well-
Nealon gets the boobs on his head.
yeah, Kevin Nealon definitely gets the boobs on his head.
Who's the show favorite?
Oh, wait, no. Are you? No, you're thinking. No, nipples is later.
Yeah, you're
Nipples.
right. You're
Nipples
right.
is later.
Okay. Boobs on his head is Kevin Nealon.
Yes. Okay.
It was very funny. I love Kevin Nealon.
So the devil tells Nicky that he'll die because the gates are broken.
He's gonna disintegrate.
Yep. And he's already lost like half a pinky.
His fingers are falling off. And Sean
Lucifer,
Hunter's dad is helping him out.
Yeah. Lucifer then walks in, and it's Rodney Dangerfield.
Love it.
And he yells at the devil.
Yep.
The devil gives him the boob head guy.
This is Rodney Dangerfield died like a few months after this came out, I think.
This movie killed Rodney Dangerfield.
I think maybe not a few months, but he died shortly after this movie, I'm pretty sure. Maybe it was a couple years. I don't know. It's one of his last movies.
He died 4 years later.
4 years
Okay.
later. Shit. I blew that one.
Yep.
I
So-
I
was
get
so
no
worried.
respect as a podcast host. I get no respect.
I thought that he was murdered by Adam Sandler.
Okay, so murdered by Adam Sandler. Rodney Dangerfield. I used to listen to his record. And our friend Justin had his comedy stand-up album on record, and we used to listen to it. And my favorite joke from it was, "My wife wants to have sex in the car, but she wants me to drive." Or in the back seat. I blew it. She wants to have sex in the back seat, but she wants me to drive. I get no respect. That was one of my favorites.
All right, so they all go to inspect the frozen firewall, and the devil can't go to Earth because he's too weak. Jimmy can't go to the Earth because he's only a demon. He doesn't have the devil's blood. So it has to be Nicky to go to Earth and get his brothers, and he's going to capture them inside a flask.
Thankfully, he has that awesome tool to catch them. Otherwise, this never would have worked.
Yep. The devil starts to give him a pep talk, but a big ape demon pushes Nicky through the wall and does the
Right.
We're running short on time.
The ape demon getting high quality minutes in this movie.
He sure
Yes,
does.
yes.
He gets a lot of good minutes.
Also, the devil starts falling apart like right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That rate of deterioration would give him like
Not
an
a lot
hour
of
and a
time.
half.
Yeah.
You
not
got an
a lot
hour
of
and a
time.
half to do this.
Yeah.
So Nicky makes it to Earth, and he immediately gets hit by a subway, which brings him right back to hell. He goes back through the firewall, and then this time he sees a bulldog that's holding a sign for him. The
Like he's
bulldog's
being
name,
picked up at the airport.
yeah, the bulldog's name is Beefy, and he's Nicky's guide.
He's played by what's his face? Triumph the Insult comic dog. So
Robert Schmeigel.
Robert Schmeigel getting to play other dogs, not just Insult comic dog. Robert Schmeigel is a funny dude.
SNL stuff too.
Funny,
His cartoons on SNL were great.
His he did all the remember in Conan where it was just the face of the celebrity and the mouth would move?
Oh yes.
He did all those. Like it was like Clinton and Schwarzenegger, and like Conan would get like a TV would drop down and random celebrities would talk to him. That was all Smigel, I think.
So Beefy tells Nicky that his brothers can possess anyone, so it's going to be very tough finding them. So Nicky immediately questioned Beefy. He says, "Come on, bro, get in the flask." They go outside, and a blind street preacher immediately senses Nicky is evil.
And this is another crazy casting thing. This is fucking Quentin Tarantino.
Yep.
Oh, is that?
It's
Yep.
Quentin
Playing the
Tarantino,
deacon.
Yep.
which is hilarious. What a great bit. But oh my God, I didn't know these two ever crossed over at all.
You make the devil, or you make the Lord very nervous. He turns around and runs straight down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
Then Nicky and Beefy go and get Popeye's chicken, and Beefy teaches him how to eat.
Popeye's chicken. I love
Popeye's
Popeye's
chicken
chicken.
is fucking awesome.
Yeah, he said fucking.
Yep.
And Little Nicky.
This was
Popeye's
the
chicken
only
is, I
F
can
word, I think.
confirm, fucking awesome. It is the only F word in it.
So yeah, because
PG
this is
13, right?
PG-13.
If I can ever get through the Popeye's chicken drive-through line, it's great. It's the worst drive-through in America.
I drove past it the other day and almost went there just because it was not long.
It's
Wasn't looking for food.
Right.
Was on my way somewhere, but
You
I was
just-
like, oh, it's a short line.
Yep. We got it one time. We used to get it all the time before the pandemic because it was busy and popular, but never this busy. Oh my God.
I went there once in
pandemic
August. It
lockdown.
was not good. Not good.
Not good
I
line
mean,
or
the
not
food
good
was
food?
good. The food was
Okay.
good. The line was
Oh,
not good.
woo! You almost got me all fired up. The food is great.
So Nicky is
Give me those biscuits.
super pumped up. He's ready to go find his brothers. Walks into the street, gets hit by a bus. He's
Yep.
back in hell, and he looks to his left, and he sees Boob Guy and Ape Demon fooling around. They all
Literally
agree not to say anything.
Sexually fooling around.
Boob guy and ape demon.
I'm telling you, Ape Demon might be better. One of the better parts of this movie here.
Who was Ape Demon? Do they?
It's just a guy in a suit. I don't think it was a real person.
But do they like at least give the guy a name?
Did he have a name in this movie?
You
I
better
have
not.
no
He should
idea.
just be Ape Demon. Oh God.
All right. Well, I'll have to look for it later. But
Well, I'll look it up while you're going.
okay, good. So Beefy brings Nicky to an apartment where he can stay, but he's gonna have a human roommate. This is Todd, I think his name was.
Alan Covert with half of his head shaved to appear bald, right? Because you can
Yeah.
see the fuzz in the front
Yep.
of his actual hairline.
So he's an actor and he's very pretentious. He gives Nicky details about the apartment and then immediately decides to let him stay there without asking anything about Nicky. Did you hear how much their rent was in New York
No.
City? $1,200 split.
That is not true.
Nope.
That is not true.
Not even in 2000. Oh my God.
So then we get the very first of the Deep South jokes. Where are you from?
Right.
The South. The Deep South.
Deep South.
We see Nicky sleeping on the heater and he starts snoring in a demon voice, which freaks out his roommate Todd. Todd? Yeah, Todd. Okay.
Todd, I think, yeah.
Then we go to the next day. I'm guessing a bishop, a priest, is giving a homily. He's being very disrespectful, and you notice that he's standing barefoot on a pizza. I like how that's how that's keeping him warm.
Right. They all have to stand on warm
Their
substances.
feet are always so cold.
Yeah.
He's saying that the Lord hasn't done anything for him. When people stand up and try to say what the Lord has done for them, he makes jokes about them. He asks the mayor if the Lord has done anything for him, and the mayor says, "I can't think of a goddamn thing." But he's also wearing tinfoil on his feet. So the mayor and the bishop tell all the people in the church that they should start sinning. Cassius and Adrian start to communicate telepathically with each other now. Talking about how great it is to make people sin on earth and how their plan's going. Then we get a montage of Nicky harassing people to get inside the flask. He gets tired, so he goes for a little nap in Central Park, while Beefy goes to check in with some of his contacts uptown, I think. Nicky starts he's snoring and he's doing the demon talking again, which causes animals to freak out and a group of people to watch him. And then he turns to the group of people and does, "I will eat your soul," or something like that. And they all freak out.
He can't control his inner demon. I have looked up the monkey, what is the ape demon?
Yeah,
No, nothing on there. Just a bunch of random demons listed, but no monkey demon specifically listed.
that's disappointing. They should have at least.
Unless I'm missing his name and he has a different name, which is possible.
Yeah. So we see a street vendor steal Nicky's flask along with the Popeyes. And then we get Adam Sandler's two good friends, John and Dave.
Yes, the
John and
dude,
Peter. John and Peter.
the Dante from Grandma's Boy, the stoner dude,
Uh-huh.
is one of them, and then the other guy is in everything else.
He's the one with the wacky eye with
Yeah,
in the Waterboy.
yeah.
So they see this and they go and wake Nicky up and tell him that the guy stole his flask. Nicky breathes fire and they think it's awesome because they're all about the they're devil worshippers. Nicky's running around and then he happens to walk past the street vendor who has his flask on his table. They get into an argument.
From Friday.
Nicky,
The dude from Friday is the
dad.
vendor.
Yeah, dad from
yes.
Friday. 45 minutes.
Every time I come in the kitchen and you in the kitchen, in the goddamn refrigerator, eating all the food.
John Witherspoon.
Yes.
He passed away last year.
Yes, he did.
Or the year before.
I think it was last year.
End of 2019.
Okay,
Yeah.
so the year before.
So Nicky shows him his demon eyes, and John Witherspoon responds by making clicking noises and showing him a stink eye.
Trying to out creep the creep.
Yep. Valerie comes over, and she convinces the guy to give.
My God,
Nicky,
Valerie.
Yeah, she's terrible.
Awful.
Penelope something.
What a character. What a terrible.
No, Patricia Arquette.
Yes.
Oh my God. Valerie Veron, I think was her name.
Yeah.
That's what it's listed as. Oh my God, terrible.
So she convinces John Witherspoon to give Nicky his flask back. Otherwise, she'll go get the cop across the street. He agrees, but tells her that she can't steal her stuff here anymore. So she leaves. Nicky follows her and they sit down on a bench and they talk. He makes the Deep South joke again.
What do you remember Patricia Arquette in? What is her biggest movie to you?
I know the name.
I couldn't remember anything, but
Looking her up, I see her and stuff, but I couldn't have told you anything.
True Romance, I guess, is the big one. Stigmata, a weird movie
Stigmata,
that
I remember liking.
a weird movie that I watched. Stigmata, she's in that.
She was in Boyhood, which I never saw, but it was supposed to be good.
I didn't see that, but yeah.
I heard that was good. Was
I
it?
was looking her up and I'm like, I don't really. She's in Boardwalk Empire. That was a show I watched for a while. But yeah, I really don't.
She was in Ed Wood.
Was she? Was she in Ed Wood?
Kathy O'Hara.
I don't remember that.
I don't know.
But, oh, is that his wife? Is that
I think so.
She played
Oh,
Ed,
yes.
Ed
Second
Wood's
wife?
wife.
She might have been the second wife, yeah.
Maybe the second wife, yeah. That's about it, right? I don't remember her from much else.
Apparently, she was additional voices in Uncle Buck.
Huh. Anyway, keep going.
Oh, she was in A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors.
Oh, great one.
Oh, yeah. So they're on the bench, and we get the Deep South joke again. Nicky likes her, and she likes him back. They go get ice cream together, and we meet the blind preacher who gets hurt again.
Yeah, he runs into a telephone pole, I think, this time.
Yeah. We get
This is what Tarantino's doing
Yeah.
in 2000. This dude has made like some of the best fucking movies. It's in this movie. It's mind blowing.
We see a dog sex joke.
Yeah, he had to have that. You had to have it.
Nikki tells Valerie that he likes her. We go back to hell and we see the devil is falling apart. And we get some Lucifer, Rodney Dangerfield jokes.
No respect.
He does fall down at one point and say that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I get no respect.
I love seeing him. I loved it. Even though it was like not important that he was in it, I love seeing him in it.
Cassius lowers the drinking age to 10. And we see Adrian sitting on something outside, and he's watching these little children come out stumbling drunk, and he's laughing, and then he notices Nikki down the street, so he uses his mind powers to make Nikki say very rude stuff to Valerie. She cries and runs away and leaves. I do like that Adrian forced Nikki to say, "Hey, Valerie," and then flip her off, and she goes, "Why are you doing this?"
Hey, Valerie. He said some mean things to her.
Yes. Adrian and Nikki argue telepathically until he makes Nikki walk out into traffic. And that's when Peter and John, I just keep calling them Sandler's friends,
Yeah,
watch him
fine.
get crushed by a, I don't know, a bus or something.
Yeah,
like
they
that
get
this
blood
time.
spilled on top of them, right?
Yep. Nikki is watching TV and he sees Regis acting evil.
Yeah, he says like I killed a guy or something.
Yeah,
Like laughs
this is
about it.
great. And the woman in the crowd makes it because Regis died too, right?
Yeah.
A lot of celebrities died the last 3 years. The woman in the crowd made me laugh. She's like, "Regis, how could you? Like, you would never do something like this." That's good. Funny.
So Nikki's watching the TV with Beefy, and Beefy tells him that he can't beat his brother without learning how to release his inner evil. So he makes Nikki do something to his roommate's Coca-Cola.
He turns it into Pepsi.
Yep. His roommate comes out and catches him and opens it, takes a swig, and says, "This Coke tastes like Pepsi."
Awesome joke, Adam.
Apparently Popeyes played a lot of money to be in this movie, and I guess
I would hope so.
Pepsi did not. They probably offered it up to him, like, "Pepsi, you want to be in this movie?" No.
Nope.
All right, we're gonna make some jokes at your expense, Pepsi. Pepsi sucks though. Pepsi sucks. Sorry.
They taste
They're
the
the
goddamn same.
They're not the same. They're not.
They're the same.
Thank
They're
you,
not
Paul.
the same, but they might as well be the same.
They're not the same.
They're
Coke is
basically
the
the
superior product.
Oh my god.
I get it. They're the same.
Actually, I have a Soda Stream now,
Oh yeah.
and I have the fake Coke mix. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Tastes like a Coke, not a Pepsi. Tastes like a Coke.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So Beefy starts making fun of Nikki for this, and he says that his dad's gonna die because of him, and that makes Nikki mad, which causes him to accidentally blow up his roommate's TV. So his roommate comes out and he says, "Do you mind if I watch the TV with you? Because this is the weirdest Globetrotters game I've ever watched." So we realize very quickly that the ref is Cassius.
The ref
And
is actually.
The ref is not Cassius.
It's not Cassius. It's what is Cassius on the inside?
Yes, it's Cassius.
But it's actually Dana Carvey as a ref. Like the most. I don't know. There's got to be a record for this. Like an excellent person in a movie just completely misused. Like Dana Carvey should be all over this movie. Just this weird old guy ref, which it made me think of Dick Bavetta. I don't know why. You remember Dick Bavetta?
Yeah,
Which I went to basketball camp, and Dick Bavetta was the speaker at basketball. Did you go to that one too?
I must have, yeah, because I remember Dick.
Dick Bavetta was the speaker at basketball camp, and everyone hates him now, which is funny. Like if you go back and look at all of his fucked up refereeing, but that's what he reminded me of. But Dana Carvey, there's nothing else for this guy to do. He's like
Nope.
one of the funniest people. He's amazing impressionist and all this stuff. Like, he's just gonna be a shitty referee, possessed by Zeus. Like,
He's making the Globetrotters lose, which the Globetrotters obviously never lose.
right, which is a funny bit that the
It is.
Globetrotters are losing.
Yeah. And we
They
see Bill
have
Walton
lost.
announcing.
Okay, the Bill Walton thing like totally redeemed the movie.
Best part of the movie.
Best part of the movie was Bill Walton, being the
announcing.
announcer, even though he would never lower himself to Harlem Globetrotters game. He's a top flight announcer, but him announcing a game by himself, which is weird.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then doesn't his hair start on fire at one point?
It sure
It
does.
does. It
That's
does.
great. It's great.
Because we immediately go to halftime because Cassius is he's bored with it.
I love this. I mean, and I know it's just an excuse for Adam Sandler to play basketball in a movie.
Yeah.
And he loves that. So it is kind of annoying, but also I loved every second of it. Also, the one Harlem Globetrotter, I think, is supposed to be Latrell Sprewell. He's number 8 and he has cornrows, and I think it says Sprewell on the back of his jersey, even though Sprewell was on the Knicks. He kind of looks like Sprewell. And I think it said Sprewell on the back of his jersey, and I think he was number 8. So I enjoyed that as well, even though it wasn't actually Latrell Sprewell, because I did look it up.
There were some of these guys were actually
Actual Globetrotters. The one guy, they're listed.
Curly
here.
was, right?
I think so, yeah.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
great moment.
Yep.
For
Halftime, there's going to be some guy doesn't want to take the halftime shot because the crowd is going to freaking riot. So Nicky gets there and he says he'll do it. We see Sandler's friends in the crowd, Peter and John, and they see him again and they know that, okay, he's definitely the devil or something like that. Demon.
Yeah.
So, Todd, the roommate, asks why Nicky is there, and Beefy answers him, which obviously freaks him out.
This guy has been around demons and all this crazy shit. He just keeps like pushing it off. Like, it's weird my TV exploded. It's weird the dog talked for maybe a minute, but he definitely didn't, right? Like, this guy has pushed off all kinds of weird paranormal shit.
Nicky releases the evil to help him make the shot, but he accidentally blows up the ball. And this is where we see Bill Walton get his head on fire.
Awesome.
Bill Walton.
He gets another ball and he almost makes the basket, but Cassius stops it. He catches it. They telepathically argue about their dad dying before they play a little bit of basketball. Nicky dunks it and breaks the backboard. Cassius gets confused. He's like, how'd you get so strong? And he says that he's been drinking this super devil juice. And Cassius takes the flask from him, starts drinking it, and gets sucked inside.
Well done.
Dummy.
Good move.
Dummy.
Mm-hmm.
Good move, little Nicky.
Sandler's buddies finally actually introduce themselves, and they want to worship him. They all go back to the apartment and where they fill in Todd, the roommate. They eat a weed cake, and Nicky shows off some demon powers where he spins his head around.
Right.
Nicky tells them about Valerie. Sandler's buddies leave to go see Ozzy. Beefy falls asleep, and we get the little girl voice, la 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 la, from Beefy as he snores.
Yeah, that was weird.
Nicky goes to see Valerie. He watches her. He starts
being a real
going up the fire escape.
Yes, right.
Yes,
I'm saying nipples.
Yes, he looks inside of a window, and the character's name is Nipples.
Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Clint Howard.
Played by Clint Howard. Yes.
Nipples. Clint
That
Howard.
guy, Clint Howard.
I feel like this is such an out of date joke. Like,
oh
yes.
Yeah, so bad.
So it's such a bad joke. Like, that doesn't translate anymore. Like,
I do like how helpful he is. He's just like, oh yeah,
yeah.
she's like two floors up and one to the left,
He's
which is
being.
kind of weird that he knows which
He should probably
window,
not give that up, but yeah.
but whatever. Um,
Not a joke that would fly.
no.
I think in 2021 or
So
2020 or 2019 even.
he's watching her through the window for a minute and goes to kiss the glass, and he smacks his face on the glass, which scares her. She comes to the window and opens it and maces him in the face. He falls off the fire escape.
Hmm.
She says, "Please don't die." So he stops falling about a foot from the ground, and he starts floating back up to her.
Not freaked out at all.
A lot of
Not
weird.
freaked out.
Yeah, a lot of weird devil powers. Like
Yeah,
these guys have so many powers.
I didn't know devils could fly like that. That's
They can
interesting.
fly. They can make people talk. They can turn into other people.
Yeah.
They can do a lot of shit.
So he gets back up to her room and she punches him in the face. Then he tells her about Adrian and Cassius and his dad.
She's just good with it. She's just
yes.
in.
Well, no. She says she's not sure that she believes him. The dude is floating right outside your window, and you say you're not sure you.
But also,
him.
like, yeah, I'm a devil. I'm the spawn of Satan. Oh, okay. As long as you're telling the truth, that's fine.
You seem like a decent guy, except for the last time you saw me, you were a fucking dickhead to me.
Yep.
Oh, well, that wasn't my fault because my brother possessed me. Oh, sure. No problem. Let's go on an Aladdin magic carpet ride together. No big deal.
Which is what they do. They go for a nighttime fly. I
will show you the world.
The blind preacher calls. He senses them and he says some stuff, and Nicky blasts him with a fire extinguisher or something like that.
Yeah, he actually causes violence to this guy.
Yes.
Or Quentin Tarantino.
The next day, we see the news is saying that Nicky's a fugitive and a mass murderer. But he hasn't noticed this yet, so he's walking down the street. When he notices that people start like giving him weird looks and start chasing him, so he starts running.
So the police commissioner is possessed
by Adrian.
He gives up the information, and it's Michael McKean, who is a hilarious actor who's in like Spinal Tap and all these other movies. It's very underutilized again, like Daniel Carvey. Like this guy should be a huge part of this movie, and he's just a one little bit line. That's not even that funny. But
no, he's used for a bit more. He's used later. Like
okay, but not a ton.
Yeah.
He's a hilarious actor. And yeah. I was like, oh hey,
this guy.
him.
Yeah.
Right. He's in Best in Show and all those other movies.
Oh, he's in Clue too.
He's in a million movies. He's a hilarious actor.
So Nicky is being chased by people. There's a group of men in wheelchairs who are following him down a hill.
Another shitty joke.
Yeah, he takes a right, and it causes them all to run into a bus.
A lot of bus accidents.
Yeah. He gets trapped in an alley, and then he turns himself into hundreds of little Nicky spiders.
Which is not going to help his, like, I'm really not a murderer and a weirdo, but here I am turning myself into a million spiders.
In order to escape and get away from the people. He gets back to his apartment, and this is when we see his face superimposed onto Scarface.
I hated this. He's in the movie Scarface, and no one knows it's the movie Scarface.
Yeah. Sandler's friends get there, and they decide to help kill Nicky to send him back to hell, so he can get his dad's advice on how to do or get Adrian. We get to hell, and Lucifer is playing cards with Ape Demon and Boobhead. The devil's falling apart. I think he's totally just lost his legs, right?
Is he just a mouth at this point?
No, I think that's a little bit later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like got nubs now, though, I think.
Devil's falling apart, and Nicky leaves anyways without getting like any advice. his friends meet the police chief to turn Nicky in and get the reward.
They turn heel.
Yep, they lead the chief, who is being controlled by Adrian, to Grand Central Station, where Beefy and Todd are waiting for Nicky. The cops take them away, and Adrian keeps the friends behind by themselves. So it's just Adrian, Peter, and John waiting for Nicky. A homeless lady offers them a flask, or like they take it from her. They start drinking it, say, "Oh, it's peppermint schnapps," and Adrian wants some of it too.
Oh, that's right, because that was a plot point. He likes peppermint schnapps.
Yes.
Of course.
He almost drinks it, but he notices that Peter
Yes.
is not sweating.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's which.
Right. One of the metal dickhead friends isn't sweating.
Peter is Dante because that's his actual name. And then John, yeah, those are the real names. Peter and John are their actual names.
Yeah.
Peter Dante.
Okay, so John is not sweating.
So he's obviously Nicky possessing him.
Exactly. And Adrian forces Nicky out of John and then makes Peter fall asleep.
A possession is weird, right? Because when they don't show the other guys possessing the mayor and like all that, they don't show Tiny Lister possessing the referee, right?
No.
When they finally show how possession works, where he's literally, his whole body is inside John. Little Nicky's, he like has to like regurgitate Little Nicky out. It's like, oh, this is disturbing. This is a disturbing way to possess someone. Oh my God.
Well, yeah, it's possession.
Literally inside, they literally go in their body. It's so weird. Like, but like physically. Not.
Yes. But like, of course it's going to be disturbing. It's possession, Ryan.
I know, but like barf him out. This was so creepy to me. Also, I thought this was the end of the movie. I wasn't checking the time codes or whatever. I'm like, oh, well, obviously this is the end of the movie. And there's like another like 45 minutes after this.
This is like halfway through.
It's not even the end. Yeah.
So Adrian tries to make Nicky drink the flask. We see Beefy use poison gas from his penis.
Yes.
To get all the cops to start coughing, and he escapes.
He shoots poison gas out of his penis.
Yep. Adrian grabs Valerie and threatens to throw her onto the train tracks if Nicky doesn't drink the flask. Beefy runs down the stairs and shoots an arrow from his dick, which hits Adrian.
Harpoon arrow, like a
harpoon.
Yeah.
Like a
Damien Priest. He shoots a Damien Priest right into.
So Adrian lets her go, but Valerie tackles Adrian onto the tracks, and Nicky jumps down. He throws her back up onto the platform and holds Adrian down as they get hit by a train.
Right.
Now we're back in hell, and the devil can't leave the throne because he's just arms and a mouth.
Oh, this is where it's just a mouth. Harvey Keitel's mouth.
Adrian arrives by himself, and he's wondering where Nicky is. They say he's not here. Nicky wakes up in a field of flowers wearing a white and pink tracksuit.
He's in heaven.
Mm-hmm. He walks into a house and he meets three angels. Reese Witherspoon explains that he's in heaven and that she's his mom.
Why do you look so good? Well, angels don't age.
Yep, that makes sense.
I think the other two girls are in Dude, Where's My Car? It could be wrong about that, but they both looked familiar, and I think they were from Dude, Where's My Car? Which is weird to cross over with that. Which I think that came out later. I don't think it came out before Little Nicky, but
no, yeah, it came out probably a couple years after this.
Yeah.
Shit, where'd I go? Oh, Tubbs walks in.
Yeah,
to give her a mambo lesson.
Chubbs from fucking Happy Gilmore.
Yeah, same character.
Chubbs, is in heaven.
Yep.
And he's a dance instructor.
Yep. It's all in the hips. It's all in the hips.
What the hell?
Yep. Um, we go back to hell, and Adrian wants answers, and he starts twisting Boobhead's nipples. Boobhead very quickly gives it all away and says that if Adrian were to take the seat of power, he can claim hell for himself, which obviously Adrian does. He takes the throne and he grows his own horns.
Mm-hmm.
We go back to heaven, and Nikki's mom tells him about how she met his dad, and they explain that he's in heaven because self-sacrifice automatically got him there.
Now, I'll just say, I feel like if you're an angel and you get drunk and you have sex with a demon, you're not an angel anymore. I feel
Not
like
just
that's
a
an
demon.
issue.
The devil.
The devil, yeah. I feel like you get kicked out for that. I don't know the rules for heaven, but I feel like that's breaking at least one of them.
Oh man.
Yep. So let's see.
Did she also father the brothers then?
No,
No,
the brothers
separate.
were fire demons or fire
Oh, that's
dragons
right.
or something
Right,
like
right,
that.
Right. Yeah.
One of the angels was played by Jana Sandler.
Jenna was her name as the angel.
Jackie Sandler.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this was when she was Jackie Titone.
Adam Sandler's cousin apparently was one of the angels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Which I just found out now that them being together and Jackie Titone being like a Sandler is due to Rob Schneider.
Yes.
Rob Schneider put her in a movie, and then that's how it all started.
Is that what it was?
I just read that too. Yep.
What?
Anyway, so then we go to. They watch a screen of what's going on Earth and see that hell is coming up through Central Park. We go down to Earth, and Nikki's friends are being hung over lava. Adrian starts encouraging the crowd to sin, and everybody's happy. And then he explains to them that everyone's going to die and go to hell in about 15 minutes.
Jackie was in Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo, but also in Big Daddy.
Yes. I think after Deuce Bigelow, he said, like, hey, you should put this chick in your movie or something like that.
Wow. So no, not Dude, Where's My Car? I don't know why I thought that.
The blind preacher really burns this time. Nikki needs to help them. Adrian then covers Henry Winkler in bees. Reese Witherspoon gives Nikki a pep.
That's a funny bit.
Yeah.
And here's Henry Winkler. Oh, we're gonna cover him in bees.
Yep. He didn't even say anything, I don't think, right?
He did later, right? Because he comes back. Then he gets covered in bees again.
Yeah.
That's how
I don't think he says anything though.
He's like, I'm here to help or something like that. That's
it. Reese gives Nikki a pep talk and tells him how to use his inner light. She also gives him a glowing orb and tells him that God said he'll know when to use it. God's so smart, like Jeopardy smart. I don't know why, but I fucking love that.
Why is that funny? I don't know, but it was.
Yeah. So Nikki gets back to Earth, and we see some of Adrian's demons start to attack him, but he releases the good on all of them. We see some flowers and butterflies. The other group gets bunnies to play with, and the last group gets Popeyes. Popeye's chicken is the shiznit. Nikki arrives, and he tries to get Adrian in the flask. Adrian blows up one of the demons who had betrayed him. Nikki and Adrian battle by turning things into other things, like a bunny gets eaten by a snake, with a snake gets turned into a flower, so on and so forth. Then they start to physically fight, and Nikki gets thrown off a cliff, but he lands in a bed that his mom had conjured up for him. Adrian jumps down, and Nikki hits him, makes him hit his head on the bed frame. And Adrian hits him with a pillow, and Nikki starts pillow fighting back with him, and he seems to be like a martial artist with a pillow. Adrian then has his demons hold Nicky still while he forces Nicky into the flask. Nicky grabs a hold of Adrian and brings him in with him. The three brothers all fight inside the flask, so everybody's just watching a flask hop around on the grass. Nicky wins and he gets out. Valerie goes over to him and she's so happy he's okay that they share their first weird looking kiss.
Weird.
But she pushes him away and he says, "What? No tongue?" And he turns out to be Adrian, who turns himself into a bat.
Oh boy. Big
Odd choice.
Big mistake turning into a bat, because you know what's gonna happen.
Valerie talks into the flask and tells Nicky to believe himself. Think of the butterflies, and Nicky escapes by becoming butterflies. He picks up the orb and he uses it, and Ozzy Osbourne appears. Ozzy grabs Adrian and bites his head off, and then spits him into the flask.
That's Ozzy biting heads off.
Always biting bats.
Nicky needs to get back to hell, but if he gets killed, he's just going to go back to heaven. So they tell him to cover Winkler and bees again. So he says, "Sorry, Henry," and he does it. And then Valerie kills him with a giant rock.
That's love right there. I need you to
it
kill me
is.
real quick.
Nicky gets into hell, and he starts running through to see his father. The devil immediately regains his form, and he so happy that he says that he's okay living underneath, and his mom's living on up above. So Nicky should live on Earth. And then Lucifer, Rodney Dangerfield, takes the flask and he shoves it up Hitler's ass. We see Nicky back on Earth, and he's got a kid with Valerie, and then we get an Animal House style recap of what happens to everyone afterwards. And that's Little Nicky for you.
It's
not the worst movie we watched.
It's not. Yeah,
it's not great.
It's bad.
No,
it's a bad movie.
It's got some parts that made you still laugh, though.
It's got some decent parts.
Popeye's chicken is fucking awesome.
Popeye's chicken.
No, nothing he said was funny because it's always got to be a dumb voice.
The voice.
That is true.
All right, so I have 3 points I want to bring up about Little Nicky before we end this. Number 1, Little Nicky had a video game. Did you know that?
I did not.
A Game Boy Color game, Little Nicky.
Oh boy.
I'm sure it wasn't great, but it had a Game Boy Color game. Now, point number 2 I want to bring up is this soundtrack captured my year 2000 in such a way. So many songs in this movie were only of the. Normally, when you have a movie soundtrack, they're timeless things. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 1 has like anybody can love those songs. Like a lot of them are just classics. This is like the songs were popular in the year 2000 and they no longer ever were after 2001. But here are some of the bands in here, and I had most of their records. All right, so number 1, POD. You ever listen to POD? I love those
one
guys.
song. They had a song.
They had one album that was great. They had 2 songs in this movie, I'm pretty sure. This movie had 2 songs in this movie. The soundtrack had some songs that are classics. It had Kool and the Gang, Ladies Night. It had Van Halen, Running with the Devil.
Johnny Cash, right? Was in one.
I think so.
Folsom Prison Blues,
Judy Garland, Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Here's one. Pharaoh Monch.
I like one song that he was in.
Pharaoh Monch appears in the song. The Dandy Warhols.
Oh, yes.
In this one. One of my all-time favorites. Love these guys. Seen them in concert. Rap, rock, punk band Zebrahead on this movie soundtrack. Yep. I enjoy them. Cypress Hill.
Insane in the
Rock,
Membrane.
Rock Superstar. Great song. Of course, we had an Ozzy Osbourne song. Did we talk about Chicago in this movie?
Oh, no, we didn't.
We did not.
That was a great that joke popped me. Where the two sandwich
Ozzy
friends
plays it straight, but
Yeah.
Chicago is the
Chicago.
devil.
If you play Ozzy backwards, it's normal, but Chicago's really the one that's if you play it backwards, it's the devil. That was good. Everlong by Foo Fighters, great song in this movie.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Incubus.
I
Yep.
very much enjoy Incubus.
I loved Incubus in 2000. Oh my god.
I've rediscovered them, sort of. And I
Yeah, it's
like
still
them
pretty
again.
good, right?
Yes.
Still pretty good.
Yes.
Linkin Park.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. POD had 3 fucking songs in this movie, not just 2. Holy shit.
Man.
Power Man 5000. When Worlds Collide.
When worlds collide. Yeah.
Jeez.
There's some others. AC/DC. Disturbed is in this movie.
Yep. Muse.
And Muse. So, wow. What a soundtrack.
What a 2000 soundtrack.
It is all over the map. What a 2000 soundtrack. So I wanted to bring that up. And then finally, I want to bring up one more thing. Is Little Nicky the complete downfall of Adam Sandler's making good movies? I'm going to list these, okay? So you don't have to look it up. I got it listed here. Actually, it's on the doc if you want to go through it. So he's on Saturday Night Live from 90 to 95. He did a part in Coneheads. He did Airheads, which is a pretty good movie. Stop me if I'm wrong. Airheads, pretty good movie. Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, great movies.
Excellent.
Wedding Singer, decent movie. Waterboy, fine. Okay. Big Daddy, pretty good movie. Then Little Nicky.
Garbage.
And then this Murderer's Row of absolute trash. Stop me if I'm wrong. Punch Drunk Love, with some people like.
Terrible.
Some people hate.
Terrible movie.
Mr. Deeds, Anger Management.
Mr. Deeds is not bad.
It's not good, but I don't hate it.
It's about the same as, say, I'd say
No
it's about
better
the-
than any of
Yes.
those first like 5 movies, though.
No.
It's on the bottom
better than
bottom section. All right, so Mr. Deeds, Anger Management, 51st Dates, Longest Yard, Click. That's the first part of the decade. Chuck and Larry, Zohan, Bedtime Stories. We get to Funny People, which I think is sort of a good movie, not a full good movie. So maybe you could count that, but people don't like that movie. Grown Ups, Just Go With It, Jack and Jill. Hotel Transylvania, which is a kid's movie, so I don't know if that counts. Grown Ups 2, Blended, Pixels. Another
Pixels.
Hotel Transylvania. Ridiculous 6.
I watched 10 minutes and then shut it off. Couldn't do it.
Marwood
was
Stories, another Hotel Transylvania, Murder Mystery, which I know people didn't like, a good movie, Uncut Gems, 2019. 20 years later, he actually has a decent movie, a good movie, a legit good movie.
And that, again, is counting Big Daddy as his other good movie.
Yeah, which is okay.
You didn't mention The Longest Yard.
Which is not a terrible movie.
I did mention The Longest Yard, and not a good movie.
What about Spanglish?
Is that not listed on here? Spanglish is not listed on here. Wow. Got some flaws in your Wikipedia. Anyway, yeah. Is there any... Little Nicky is the downfall. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yep,
Yeah,
this
you
is the
might-
start of it.
It starts a big
Yeah.
deterioration in his movies. Oh my
I
God.
Did you guys see 8 Crazy Nights?
No,
It's like a kid's movie. Yeah, right. It's okay.
No.
just a
no.
cartoon. It's not a kid's movie, right?
It's a cartoon,
Yes.
isn't it?
It's a cartoon, but it's not a kid's movie.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, maybe.
I did not see it though.
It's rare he has a hit after
Yes, it is
Big
very
Daddy,
But all-
though, right?
A lot of these make a lot of money though.
Little Nicky did not. Little Nicky was a complete disaster, a
Well, it's
bomb.
terrible.
Razzies all over the place. Tons of Razzie nominations. I think he only won for
Well, though, think
one
about it though.
Razzie.
In 1999, he had a whatever, and then the next year he put out Little Nicky. In 2009, he had Funny People, which I'd never seen. You said it was all right.
It's okay.
Followed that up the next year with Grown Ups, and then in 2019 he had Uncut Gems. Followed that up with Hubie Halloween. No,
Yeah.
he's on the way back down. 10
Followed
more
that
years. 10 more years.
Hubie Halloween, which some people like.
No,
Maybe
no one likes that.
There's people I met,
Nope.
people I know that think it's good.
I don't believe you.
God.
Well, I think Mike thinks it's good. I think Mike generally thinks.
I don't
Mike
think he
did
does. I
seem
think
to-
he just
enjoys
likes to tell
pissing
us.
us off.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, that's Little Nicky.
Oh, did you catch the Chris Farley joke?
I did like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot that. Yeah.
That was a good joke.
Because they said that the devil and his mom tried to date for a little while, but they broke up. The devil dated somebody, and then his mom is very happy with her new
Right.
dance instructor or workout instructor or something like
Yes,
that.
Chris Farley.
Yeah.
When did Farley die?
97. I just looked it up.
Okay, so a couple of years before this.
Very
Yeah.
late 97.
It's bad. This movie's bad, but it has some fun stuff in it, I guess. So it's not anywhere near the worst thing we watched. We was some absolute shit.
While
It's
he's
actually decent to sit through.
on a hot streak with these terrible choices, but
No,
as his
come on.
movies go, this isn't so bad.
Escape from New York was not so bad.
That wasn't
It
bad.
was
Come
not
on.
a good movie.
It wasn't great,
Not a
but it
good
wasn't
movie.
bad.
It wasn't an Oscar winner, but it's better than this.
It was fun.
It's below the Mendoza line.
Wow. Ouch. I want to know what the Mendoza line is. I don't know. I have to go through a lot of chosen ones to find out what
we've
that
watched
is.
a lot of movies.
Wonder what
Yeah.
the actual middle ground is, but I feel like
I
it's
had
a
time, I
bad.
would put that together, but I will not be doing that.
I feel like it's a bad movie, right? Because it's like we watch so many bad movies. Many wrestlers are in many bad pieces of
Yes.
movies. All right, that's it. That's Little Nicky. Wow, what a show! All right, who's up next? Is it me?
I believe it is you, because I think
Okay.
I just went last week with
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles.
Yep,
So-
you did.
I was gonna do this a long time ago.
Oh boy,
This is gonna require some effort.
I'm out.
Some effort. No, it's not. It's not bad. I was gonna do this a while ago, but I forgot. I was reading this book and then I forgot. I totally forgot about it.
What club is back?
I'm reading a book. You don't have to read and you don't have to read anything. You don't have to watch anything. You just have to come up with some content. Some thoughts on this premise. That's all you have to do. That's it. So it's going to be limited work. So I'm reading a book by Shea Serrano, who's an author and writes for TheRinger.com. It's called Movies and Other Things. It's been a series. There was basketball and other things, and now movies and other things. There's a chapter in this book. You don't have to read it. I'll bring it to the party. About The Rock. It's just about The Rock and how The Rock can improve movies. If you put The Rock in a movie, it can make it better. Based on you add The Rock to Fast and Furious, it becomes a better movie franchise. So he did a whole, or maybe not. So I did a whole chapter on The Rock. If you add The Rock into this movie or that movie, it becomes a much better movie. So I'm going to ask you to give me some options on where The Rock could improve cinema. And I'll bring this book with me, and I'll give you some of the choices that Shea Serrano made, and we'll do a whole.
So not necessarily like chosen ones, just where we think he could improve Hollywood.
Right, like Little Nicky could be improved if The Rock was one of the demons or something,
Oh, by the way, it was Gary the Monster was the ape demon.
Oh, okay, Gary the Monster. Well, anyway, that's the chosen one. So I'll bring the book.
Right.
I'll open up the chapter. I'll give the examples that Shay gave. And then I'll ask on you to bring some options to the table on where The Rock can improve cinema. And the chapter is very, very funny. I've read it before. I read it a while ago. I was going to do it as a thing. So you can react to the ones that I read to you and then bring up some options yourself.
So we're just trying to think of like movies that if you put the Rock in,
like Shawshank Redemption with The Rock. Better or worse? I'll come up with some fun.
If you take out Morgan Freeman and you put The Rock in,
Right.
Shawshank is better,
Better?
is what you're saying.
Is it better or worse? I don't know.
Oh boy.
Think about it. Think about it. We're talking all about The Rock next week. That's what we're gonna do. And we're not watching anything. And I'll just bring these. I'll bring the book with me, and I'll read the. I can't remember what. If it's 10 movies or what it is, but it's pretty funny. All right. We'll see how it goes. I don't know. It could be 10 minutes. It could be an hour. It might not be. Any time. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
But I
Sounds
wanted to
good,
do
yeah,
it for a
sure.
while, and I recently moved all my books upstairs. I'm like, holy shit, I forgot I was going to do that like 6 months ago as a chosen one. So we're going to give it a shot. The Rock, movies and other things, chosen one. I'll figure it out. It'll be fun. All right, that's it. Anything else to say about Little Nicky?
No.
Anything else to say? Peace out, everybody.
See you.